What's going on, everybody? I'm back again with another video, and I'm out here in Makati in the Philippines, and it's going to be a little short walk and talk video explaining you why moving abroad can be way easier than you think. Because I get a lot of comments of people like, I wish I could do it, but I don't know how. I think it's hard. And like I know everybody is different. You know, everybody has different types of responsibilities. My responsibility was a little bit easier, but anything is possible if you're really willing to do it and put your effort in it. So we're gonna walk around, show you beautiful Makati, and I'm gonna talk about how it's much easier than what you think to move abroad. Obviously, it depends what country, but I'm gonna speak for the Philippines in general. So without further ado, join me. It's another hot and humid day out here, but it is what it is. Today is Friday, so comparing to many days that I filmed in Makati this Sunday, today you're gonna be expecting to see more traffic and crowds out here. This is one of my favorite neighborhoods after Bonifacio Global City. It could be the second district that I could live in, Metro Manila. But yeah, like I say, moving abroad is actually easier than what people think. Most of the times in general, what you just need is take the courage to do it. I think the hardest part is making the final decision of taking the leap and leaving behind your home. But once you come out here, you can figure things out. Obviously, depending, everybody has different types of money situation, jobs and everything, but if you have income online, you know, remote job or a business, it doesn't have to be a lot. Even if it's $2,000 or something, it's possible for you to come live out here. You know, over here, the prices are much more affordable. But also keep in mind, keep track of what you spend. Because sometimes it'd be like, oh, it's cheaper. You spend, and before you know it, you're running out of money. But, you know, just come out here, see what it's like, and then you can figure it out. And then you can find apartments around. There's a lot of social media pages that explains everything with units, you know, food and everything. I love this area here. One thing I love about Makati is the fact that it's not just, you know, an urban developed city, but the fact how they have a lot of major trees. You know, these trees are older than the ones you'll see in BGC, so it helps out with the weather, even though it's brutally hot. If I was in BGC, I'd probably be sweating, but over here it balanced out. You can see how beautiful it is, and you could get neighborhoods like this for a fraction of the price of what it costs you back home in the States. You know, pretty beautiful. We got like a lot of mega malls. One is over here. It's like 4 mega malls over here in Makati, but yeah. But like I said, the biggest thing that you gotta do is have the courage to do it. You know, figure out if that's what you really wanna do in life. If you wanna live in a country abroad, whether it's Latin America, Southeast Asia, or even Europe, you know, you figure out, go to the country first, you know, stay there for over 3 weeks to a month or even more. Travel around all the regions and figure out if that's the lifestyle that you want. If this is the place that you fit, you can belong and live. Like I did, I came to the Philippines multiple times. I've been all over, and I finally decided this is where I wanted to live. And here I am, beautiful Makati. Like I say, then one thing about the Philippines comparing to other Southeast Asian countries is that it makes it easier for you to stay here, you know, especially like the tourist visa is very friendly. As long as you behave, you respect the rules, and you do your essentials and pay the fee, no issue, you know, because a lot of countries, they ask you like so many questions, but here, you don't got to worry about that. The only catch is that you need a round trip ticket or onward ticket when you come over here. You cannot come to the Philippines on the one way. You know, I've seen a lot of people try to do that little mistake, and then they end up booking like a last minute ticket in the counter, you know, when they're trying to check in the airport. Here is Ayala Triangle. I don't think I'm going to go in there, but I've filmed there many times, and that's like the heart of it all. Then you got Peninsula Hotel right here. Beautiful day to walk, and then here, comparing to other neighborhoods, the only way to cross to the other side is going underground. You got this underground passage that makes it feel like if it's a subway station. So you go underground, then you cross to the other side. Here's the heart of it, Makati and Ayala Avenue. You can see the skyscrapers. Most of the time, these skyscrapers literally highlight the main skyline of Metro Manila. You even see some of these buildings from the 6th floor of my condo unit. You see literally like the entire Metro Manila, but it's actually pretty big. It's like 16 cities all together making a huge, massive metropolis of 14 million people. So I can't get enough of Ayala Avenue, like the way how the streets are developed and impeccable and clean. But even when you exit the main streets and you go to major streets, it's nice. And then another thing, they have a lot of local barangays over here that it's like a lot of contrast, but it makes actually like the neighborhood, you know, pretty beautiful. Here it feels like if I'm on 5th Avenue, Manhattan, New York. But we are in the heart of the Philippines, and it keeps going straight forward. Like I say, you know, moving to another country is not really that hard. You don't really need much. But like I say, you need some income coming online. and at least have some savings on you, you know? Try to have at least 30,000 or more in savings, and then manage, you know, and then try to search around units like houses or condo units, and then you can make it possible. For me, it was much easier to do this because I don't have a mortgage in the States. I don't have children or anything. But I've seen people with kids, not just one kid, multiple kids, family, and they still come and they move either here, Thailand, or any other country of their choice. So like I say, nothing is impossible. If you put the effort to do what you want to do, you can make it happen. You know, only you can choose your destination and your happiness and your freedom. I think my only regret about doing this is that I didn't do it before, but I was a little bit in debt in the past. But you know, when the right moment comes, you just make it happen. And then it was to the point, you know, after working 14 years in New York City, I couldn't do it no more. And I said, no, I need to change my life. And it's been over a year and I have no regrets at all. Like I say, I've been traveling to different countries. I've been exploring around here, and each day is like, you know, something new happening. You never get bored of this lifestyle. And here's the icon of the Philippines, Jollibee. All over, it's kind of like the KFC Philippines, but they sell a lot of big things in the menu. I'm addicted to their burger steaks, and now they came out with something new in desserts. I ain't gonna lie, most of the times when I grab a food panda from these joints, it's because of their desserts. They came out with a sundae that has like the crispy chocolate and berries on top, and whew, heaven. And I'm not really like a sweet tooth person, but I've been getting addicted to some of the desserts out here in the Philippines. Filipinos really know how to do pretty good desserts. But make sure you try the locals like halo halo, puto bombong. I'm not gonna say it's a bad word in Spanish. And also leche flan is very good out here. And these are some of the underground passage. I tell you, it looks like a subway station. If you look to my right, you're gonna see how beautiful it is. Like this. But the only train station they have here is the MRT in EDSA. So they have two stations. They got the Buendia and the Ayala Avenue. So that's pretty much it. But then you take it off to Ayala Avenue. By one Ayala, you can connect to buses in many ways to get around Metro Manila. And I think Metro Manila, comparing to other Southeast Asian cities, is one of the cities around here that have the most skyscrapers. I forgot which one has the number one. I'm talking about Southeast Asia, not Eastern Asia. You know, because there's other cities that are literally spread out, but over here, the business districts are pretty much organized. I gotta tell you, I think one of the negativities, and I'm from Puerto Rico where the weather is similar, but one of the negative things about Philippines is the humidity. It's natural, you know, people are used to it, but I'm a guy that really don't like sweating, and even if I don't do much, I'm always dripping in sweat because the humidity here just hits different. Look at the street. So, despite it being like a major financial district, it's pretty chill though, you know. I think maybe if you come during rush hour, then the traffic is gonna be hectic, and you'll see a lot of people getting off for work, and in the mornings, people going out to work as they commute to other regions out here in the metro, or some people, they really commute far to come and work out here. But this is like a 360 view of what's going on. I like how they got the palm trees in the middle. Right in Ayala Triangle Park is over that way. I think I'm actually gonna push it a little bit outside this district and make it into Calayan or nearby, because you can see a little bit of the drastic change of this modern area and the local neighbors. I've stayed in that area multiple times, you know. I just want to show you probably some of the streets. So you can see that Makati is not just skyscrapers. They also have like beautiful communities with locals out there, and the people will treat you with respect. In Makati, it's a good workout because you walk a lot, then you take these little underpassage above the streets. So you don't really need a gym. You can do like a lot of cardio out here. Here you can see how busy it is. So here it feels like if you're back in the States, you know, with the way how the streets are developed and the people and everything. Then traffic jam. There's a lot of major buses come out here and they pick up the people and transport them to different parts around here. Yeah, this is just part of the heart of Metro Manila, which is Ayala Avenue. And what I like about Philippines or Metro Manila in general is that, yes, a lot of foreigners come out here, but comparing to neighboring Asian countries, it still stays authentic, you know. Like, I'm walking here, which is one of the major visited areas for foreigners, and I've only seen a few foreigners walking around here. Like 90% of the people are mostly Pinoys. If I was to go like to Bangkok and I walk around, I guess, some of the streets, like 50% or even more will be like expats or foreigners, and then only Like the locals that you see are mostly workers or people that haven't been around the area, but over here still keeps like its traditional vibe right here. So I think that's something that makes the Philippines unique too, that it's pretty authentic. Here's pretty major because it got tall buildings, and when the avenue passes around here. But yeah, and now I gotta cross towards the other side. So once I pass this area, it turns a little bit more local. So I already tracked a little bit in the map. What route do I want to do? I think I want to head towards Camagong a little bit and then make it back towards Chino Roses to see what it looks like. And then it will take me straight back into Ayala, and then we call it a day. Like I said, this is just a walk and talk video why I think, in my opinion, moving abroad is not as hard as a lot of people think. It's actually way easier. You just gotta have the courage to do it and willing to be, be like, if that's what you really want to do. Look at the traffic over here. This is Buendia Avenue. Here you see how the area is changing little by little. I think a block or two ahead is where Camagong Road should be. And it's actually the first street that I stayed when I came to the Philippines for the first time. I'm trying to think if it's this one or the other one. Just gotta look at my Google Maps really quick. Here, once I make a left, we have just entered Camagong Road. And they have like a lot of hotels over here that are a little bit on the more affordable side. Let me pass between this, I'm scanning. The only difference is a little bit isolated from Ayala, but you can hop on a Grab or Angkas or anything and get around the district. And then here you see how the neighborhood changes. So yeah, I love walking around here, but the humidity can really drain you. But you have an idea what I'm talking about, how different the street is comparing to the other side I was walking. But it's just trying to show you, the different sides of Makati. It's not just skyscrapers, they also have like local residents like this over here. That's crazy. I think the street might be even busier than the actual Ayala. Not too many people, but you see all the motorbikes, the cars, even tricycles from barangays passing by. It's been a minute since I've been in this side of Makati, but it's good to be back and see what has been happening. But yeah, not much, a lot of people, they really don't walk around here. And this over here is Gaijo, and they have a hotel inside there, which I stayed the first time I came to the Philippines. But actually the first hotel that I stayed in Metro Manila when I came here was this one, Soleil's Hotel. And it's a pretty nice hotel, I think it's been open like 10 years ago. I forgot what was the year that I came here for the first time, but this was the area that I stayed. And pretty decent prices. And like I said, you could just book a Grab or anything, then it could get you anywhere throughout Metro Manila. So this is Makati, but much more local. If you make a detour over there to the right, you'll see multiple business condos over here. And they even have a Shopwise supermarket, which is actually pretty massive. And this here is called Chino Roses, I think. So I'm gonna make my left over here and walk all the way back towards Ayala to see where can this take me. And then you can see how well paved the street is. It would be nice if they had more trees. Now I'm actually starting to regret walking all the way here. I might need some water or something. So not much people here, but most of the people there either in Guadalupe or another area that I filmed that's part of Makati, which is by the cash and carry area. I think it's called Barangay San Antonio. That's a very cool barangay over here, and a lot of people, they hang out over here. Damn, let me see if I can find a 7-Eleven or a Big John or Lawson so I can buy some water. The heat is literally no joke. So not much going here. It's just mostly like a car dealership. Sidewalks are not well paved like in Ayala, so you see the huge contrast between Ayala and Makati, and then once you exit those main area, this is what you get. Like a local area, but it's good to walk around both sides of Makati so you can have an idea, how things are. Yes, I'm happy now. A little bit of savior ahead of me, 7-Eleven. So I'm gonna go in, I got some coins with me. Gonna go in and buy a 22 peso water. I tell you, that's one thing I like about the Philippines, how I can get bottled water for a cheaper price. In the States, it costs like $3-4 to get water. Here, it's only like a few cents. There's my boy right there, 7-Eleven, son. I'm coming for you. Water, water, water. Oh no, here I got my best friend, Absolute. 22 peso water. Oh yeah, boy. This is what you need when you blog out here. I made a mistake of not buying it before my walk. But like I said, the good thing here, you can find all these convenience stores all over, so. Yep. Feels refreshing, and this should be able to hold me when I walk all the way back. Here are the buildings near Buen Dia, or Pedro Gil Puyat, they also call it. And I see the clouds, like if it wants to rain or something, because you know, rainy season is approaching. But it's my first time I walk this area. I see they even have a modern building over here. Seems like the main big avenues, they try to develop it with high-rise buildings, but then they don't take really care of the regular local streets that I'm walking. But it's pretty interesting to look at, you know, the neighborhoods in both directions. And here it seems like Pedro Gil Puyat, aka Buen Dia, is busy too. Actually busy than Ayala. I just gotta watch where I walk. I think it's also because, you know, the skyway's right here, so people enter and exit it. But now we're just gonna walk back. And I blocked over that side like a month ago, so here we go. We're just gonna walk back here, back to the trees. Honestly, I don't know how to put this in perspective. You know, April is summertime, probably the hottest month, but I feel like May, maybe the heat doesn't get strong, but the humidity is way worse than April. Because in April I didn't sweat much, but here I'm literally like dripping in sweat. But I don't mind, you know, it's part of the experience. Like I said many times, I think I'd rather deal with this humidity than dealing with a brutal, intense, freezing cold weather that will make me sick every time. It would give me skin rashes, you know, dry skin, and yeah, my body's pretty sensitive with cold weather, so the humidity, I guess the good thing is that I don't suffer sensitivity with my skin. Here you see the vibe of what's going on, and then you start seeing the beautiful buildings of Ayala, and then over this way they got a couple of malls, but I'll leave that for another video. And then here they got the bike lane. See, here you can bike in peace because they got like this little sticks over here that holds it, and the boys' cars getting inside the bike lane. So yeah, one of my tips if you want to walk a lot in the Philippines or any other neighboring Southeast Asian country, always carry water or electrolytes, something that hydrates you, because the humidity here, it can really drain you no matter if you're brave enough to face the heat. You just got to be prepared for it. And now here I am going up the escalators to cross to the other side, Buen Dia, you know? I guess that's a good thing. I don't got to really struggle to walk. They have this escalator that will cross me into the other side. Then here's the bridge. And if you go that way, it takes you straight into the skyway. So that might explain why there's always traffic in the other side. It's connected to other parts of Manila, and you can head towards Cavite, all the way down to Exodus, I think it's called. And then the good thing about Metro Manila, it's not only about the heat, but they have all these massive mega malls, so you can literally go inside, shelter, and get some air conditioning. I literally felt like raindrops, so hopefully it doesn't pour until I make it inside the mall. And then just like that, we are back again in Ayala Avenue. So you see the huge contrast when I exit the street, and then you see like a different type of vibe, so, hello. Then you see like a different type of vibe, so I'm just gonna make it ahead and wrap it up when I make it near Glorieta area. I gotta tell you, these stairs could be a blessing or a curse. Blessing because you can cross the street safely, but if you're walking a lot like I did, it could drain you going up and down. But it's all good, man. You get at least 10,000, 20,000 steps and a good cardio free of charge. And I guess the good thing is that here ahead of me is the escalator, so I don't gotta climb the steps by foot. And they got this other area here. They haven't developed it yet, but we'll make it over here to the other side. And I signed up for a fitness center. You know, I go to the gym, but now I think I was gonna go later, but I'm debating now with all this walk. But maybe later I'll just go to the house and relax for a little bit, freshen up, and then I'll just hit the gym, even if it's for 30 minutes or an hour, you know. Good thing about the gym is not only to build like your body, but to make you feel good and have a great self-esteem. Here, you gotta love the trees. I see how the leaves, they change colors, like if it's fall season. And it is dark, like if it wants to rain, but like I say, just wait for me until I make it indoors, and then you can pour all you want. Literally, these buses can take you to other regions. Like I see the buses stopping there, and then the guys that will guide you, and they're literally like, you know, saying Manila, Manila. So I guess if you want to go to different regions of the metro part of Manila, you could take some of these buses. But it's just crazy. It would be better if they have like a subway or a metro system that will connect you literally all the parts of Metro Manila. That way the city will be actually more accessible. I'm feeling raindrops. I'm feeling it little by little. And here in the Philippines, it's not addressed. So here, when it rains, it pours. Uh-oh. And here, look at the beauty of the sidewalk. I just wish that most of the parts of Metro Manila had like the same infrastructure of sidewalks like this, you know. But up here, obviously, because this is the wealthy area, so, and not just in the Philippines, even when you go to New York City, it's like that too. If you go to Fifth Avenue, Park Avenue, pretty nice, but then you head up like neighborhoods like in the Bronx, New York, or southern Brooklyn, like Canarsie and other neighborhoods like that, the vibes literally change. So, you know, that's how it is all over the world. The wealth gap that is pretty visible. Oh, the walk is not long, but when you're drained and you got a little dehydrated from the heat, it feels like it's forever. But I'm gonna make it, Just lesson learned, always drink water, don't overdress for the weather, even if you wanna look cool. But always good to experience new things out here. Like I mentioned in my previous post, like coming over here is not really that hard, especially when you have a strong passport, like from the States. You come here, automatically you get 30 days to stay here, and then you have the option if you want to extend it 1 month the first time, then you can keep extending every 2 months. And you can do that up to 3 years, then leave the country for a day. You can go to Hong Kong or neighboring country, come back and start all over again. So that's one of the benefits of staying here in the Philippines comparing to other neighboring countries. So like I said, you just gotta plan, study which country, which city you wanna settle, and figure your budget and make it happen. And these are kind of like jeepneys and bus stops. People can, if you come during rush hour, there'll be a line of people waiting over here. I think I already sing enough and I explain, you know, about living abroad here for today. So I think it's gonna be a perfect spot for me to wrap up the video over here in Ayala. So that was the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Be safe out there. Everybody, God bless y'all, and peace.